So we are going to actually be doing a re-examination that will be used with outside assessors, all outside assessors with no connection to the New Orleans Police Department will be doing a re-examination on a certain portion of the test that was of issue to everyone. And so I'm glad to know that we do have a path forward. And I think that we're going to be talking about the long-term fix for the bigger process, as I announced in the City Council meeting on Monday about a goal for 2025. So we're going to correct any gaps that are in the bigger promotional process. But for right now, the current promotional process, we do have a path forward, and we should be able to have it all corrected at least by the end of the year. That's the goal.
All right, Gabby.
Come a little closer for me if you don't mind.
So my question is, overall with the process, I know that it was initially halted because there were various complaints throughout the department, and so I'm curious, was the solution also a part of complaints that came in, or was that something that was independently something that you hoped to do? How did this coming up with a solution come about?
Sure. Let me frame something for people to understand. Law enforcement promotional exams, the complaints that you've heard about are pretty normal. They're not new complaints that I've heard throughout my career. And so this is not a unique complaint within the New Orleans Police Department. I don't care if you're in Salem, Oregon, you're in Chicago, or you're in Florida. Almost every time there are promotional exams, you will hear almost, you can predict what the complaints are going to be, all right? So that is why we can anticipate where the problems are, and what we're going to do now is try to close those gaps so those types of complaints cannot even be raised to begin with. So that is what we will be working for on the long-term fix, but we also have a short-term fix, and it lies in the key of using outside assessors.
Thank you. And so, okay, you said only one question?
Yes.
I have a two-part question.
That's fine.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know Judge Morgan was pretty much overseeing this. Was this a decision from the judge? And also, who will be the outside assessor?
Yes, no, this is not a decision by the judge in terms of there was no call from the judge. The mayor and I are lockstep in this process going forward. We just have wanted a test that everyone can believe in, and the mayor and I have been absolutely lockstep that people are not going to get promoted in this city unless it's on merit and merit alone. So the promotional process is under the umbrella of the consent decree, which is under the judge. But at this point, this is our fix, and we know that we are within the consent decree process on the fix.
And as far as the outside assessor, is that?
Oh, you asked about the outside assessors. They have not been identified, but they will not have a connection, to the best of my ability, to New Orleans or to any of the, they may have a connection to New Orleans, but not to anyone in the department. I want complete hands off.
Time to begin.
Yes, how does this differ from the lieutenants and the sergeants exams and that process? Is this process totally different? And so why, with this process did you decide with the mayor, this is the one where we're going to put a halt to it and change things?
The process that was also used with the sergeant's exam, we also then recognized some of the problems. We knew it then, but we were not in a position to change the process yet. But because of what has happened in the concerns associated with the lieutenants and the captain's test, we decided let's just get it fixed now. But we knew that the process had gaps even in the sergeant's exam.
What was specifically the mayor's concern with this?
It has to do with, and this was something even when I got hired, this is not new, but when I got hired, one of the issues was how do we make our promotional systems so secure that there isn't the ability to question it. So because we have a process that we were locked into, we had to follow the process until we could get permission to make some adjustments to it. We now have permission to make these adjustments. So this is the timing for the corrections.
Whose permission?
We have under the court, because promotions are under the consent decree. And so we needed to work with the DOJ, we needed to work with the federal monitors, we needed to work in-house, all of that. So because promotional process is paragraph 302 and 303 of the consent decree.
All right, Rick? I know, there was a lot of concern with morale amongst the ones that were, looking for the promotions. What is kind of their status right now? I know hearing this news, what is kind of their morale at now? Are they, feeling better? What are their kind of thoughts right now?
I think, yeah.
This news themselves.
What people look for when it comes to morale, they're looking for leadership of going forward. And I think that I tried to provide that today to say, yes, we hit a wall. We have a way around it. And I have provided with them that path. When you have a path, people feel better about the fact that we can move forward. Now, I will tell you, it was a morale hit because there's been a lot of accusations as well, and that's embittering of the soul, okay? And that's why I want to remove these opportunities of anyone even trying to attack the integrity of other people, and that's through making sure the process is so legitimate that no one can make an attack on, a personal attack. Yeah.
Superintendent, were any of these concerns raised by officers because of Mayor Cantrell's relationship with now former Officer Jeffrey Vappy?
Oh, golly, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. The complaints that got expressed were so, like I said, those are so anticipatory because they're going to be the same complaints in Salem as you hear in Florida. And no one made a complaint. No one made a complaint of anything associated with Officer Vappy. That is something that others have tried to put two and two and say that's why this is on hold. That is not the case.
So was there a political problem that was found?
No, the issue has never been, that's why the mayor and I have always been lockstep, and the officers want to be promoted on merit and merit alone. No other factors are in there, but we've got to make sure that the process resulted with a test that was legitimate. And that's why we needed to put a pause on it, because we couldn't go forward until we had secure understanding that there is no problem with this test other than I'm going to remove the accusations by using outside assessors.
So is the problem with the test, or was the problem with the other part of the promotion part?
Last question.
Yeah, this is the last question. The test, the process that we use allows for an opportunity to assign sinister meanings to the outcome, because we use internal assessors. And so by using outside assessors, you cannot claim anyone scored another person based on anything personal. When you use outside people who don't know you, you have removed the potential argument that someone had a personal vendetta in the scoring. So the process allowed for that assignment of meaning, and it has caused a great deal of heartache for people. You remove the opportunity by using outside assessors. If that is a pretty simple way of approaching it. So the test itself yielded that opportunity, and I'm removing it.
All right, thank y'all for coming out. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Do we have a new little one yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Still waiting?
Fingers crossed, a few more weeks.